using Viva 3D, adding text, images and video to your presentation in a very simple manner and a very flexible manner. Viva 3D is a freestyle 3D environment which really has very few limitations. You can virtually add anything you need into the 3D environment and navigate through that with the keyboard, voice recognition, or my personal favorite way is using the joystick, which makes navigating really a very easy and simple experience. So let's have a look here at the interface. We can go through to full screen at any point using Viva 3D, and it also has the ability to record directly as you navigate through. So that makes it very, very easy to create videos or other output. But one of the main features of Viva 3D is that it's a real-time presentation system. So you can actually have a Viva 3D player running or a plug-in for your website, or you can simply just use it from your laptop and navigate through the properties and show them to clients, and clients can say, could I see this area or whatever area they want, and you can simply navigate to that. As I move the joystick left and right, you can see the compass turning. So we've got a little compass display, sort of head-up display, which can be turned off as needed. It also gives us some coordinates and some status of the joystick. We have H-lock, which is height lock, so we can set the camera to look down or look up at a particular angle and then set the height as we navigate through with the joystick. We can also get the joystick to look to the left or right and make a walk through, sort of laterally showing part of the house as we travel. So let's drop your Matterport camera content in. Here's the object file provided from the camera, and we'll drop that into the scene. It's quite a big file. It's about 30 megabytes, 37 megabytes in size, and has about 300 plus materials. The property comes up dark because we have to enable specular lighting. So let's do that. Also diffuse. So we just simply set those all to white, and we won't have it glowing in the dark, so we'll leave that off. We'll enable mapping, which is a term for higher quality images, and we'll also enable hit flash so that when we touch an item within the model, we'll get a visual indication that we hit it. We'll rotate it 90 degrees so that it matches the Viva system, and we'll set everything to 20 meters in dimension. So then the model's reprocessed, and now we're actually in the scene. I can just pull out of the scene there, speed up a little bit, and you can see the doll's house view of the Matterport content. So let's fly back into that. And navigate through slowly. Turn on the height lock. Adjust the speed of the fly through a little bit slower perhaps. And here we are inside the lounge. So with the joystick, it's really very easy to navigate, and it's the best method to have smooth control. For smaller rooms, we can enable or vary the field of view with the slider, so you can basically adjust it so you can more easily see the room as you look around. This is particularly useful in bathrooms, which can be quite small. And then we'll put that back to a slightly lower value. for the rest of the house. So one of the things you can do with Viva 3D is, for example, we can click on the TV screen here and we can drop in an object here, which we can then size to be roughly the same size as the TV screen itself. And let's move that back into the wall. Slightly larger. And once we've got that in position, it becomes part of the presentation. You can obviously, if you like, put a static image on it, or you can put a video on it, which can also be activated through proximity. So as you fly into different areas, it will actually come up and start showing your video at the appropriate time. Let's drop a video in. And we will set that to match. And now that we've got the size, we can play the video. And there's our video playing. We can enable audio simply by going into tab 2 and clicking on the enable audio. So that's our video running. Part of the scene now as we move through, so we can actually make the house look a little bit more alive, adding also things like text. So let's add 3D text. There's the text. Put it down into position, bring it forward slightly. Let's adjust the lighting. Enable lighting on the 3D text. And bring the lighting up slightly so we get, there we are. Makes the scene look a little more realistic. We can also, with the text, simply go in there and change it as required. And make the text smaller. And also we can enable the text so that it will face towards the camera as we travel through. Minus one of the camera. Face to object. Okay, that's the one. So now as we navigate around, if we come over here, for example, turn around. See, the lounge text will always be facing us. It's still facing us, so it will be tracking as we come through. So proximity activated objects, you can add 3D text, posters, videos to your Matterport video very, very easily. And if we click here on the text, we get a distance of 112. So let's back up a little bit. So let's set the proximity activation for the 3D text proximity, and we'll set it to 112. And you see it's disappeared, but as we come in again, it comes back on. So as we cross that threshold into the room, objects will spring up. They can fade in or zoom in as required, but in this video we'll just show the basics. So with about 20 minutes training, it's very easy to use Viva 3D to create your content and augment it. One of the other things that we can do is we can add models into the scene. These can be animated or static models. So we will drop in a human model. And once we've actually got the model in the scene, we will position it. Takes a little while to load because it's a fairly large, complex rigged model. Okay, so we've got our model. Turn off the crosshair. Take the model. A little bit small for the scene, so we'll scale the model up. Okay, and spin her around slightly. Here's the model. Lighting is enabled. Let's just check the light range. So you can place models of any type. We can actually position her as required. We could sit her up on the stool here. It's very, very easy to adjust the model as required. Just by clicking on the limbs, we can reconfigure her as needed. And also we can animate her if we need to. I'll just click the reset button to let me reset her animation, and we have her walking. Obviously there's a range of animations available which we can also add, and we can also set up even shadowing. And if you want to stop her, you can just do that and set whatever pose you wanted to add. So basically with Viva 3D there's a lot of facilities for augmenting your Matterport content and making smooth fly-throughs. Obviously I'm doing this quite quickly to keep this video as short as possible, but basically it's a very, very easy system to use and augment, as we can see here. For those people who've got 3D glasses-free autostereoscopic screens, holographic screens, you can simply click on the button here and the whole scene will then spring up in 3D on your 3D monitor, and you can adjust the 3D depth disparity as you can see me doing here. Obviously you need a 3D monitor to see the 9 views, but basically the system renders the 9 views in real time, and it also interweaves the content to produce the 3D format, which, as I said, the depth can be adjusted. For those people using KDX Dimenco screens, it also supports all of the KDX formats, including the quad, full background, which requires the depth, and the background in 4 separate images on the screen. So all of those features for 3D monitors, the new 3D holographic type monitors, are there built in to the system, which is a fairly unique feature for Viva 3D. And that's it. I hope that's been of interest. Thanks for listening.